Is working the 9 to 5 actually worth it for you? Well, I used to think the 9 to 5 was a bit of a dead end, a trap, dying to escape the matrix. But, I think I've realized now that working the 9 to 5 has actually given me the tools that I needed to go out there and start my own thing. So what I'll do in this video, I'll break down my experiences, my 9 to 5, and how it's given me the tools, the mindset, and importantly, some money to actually go out there and start my own business, and why working the 9 to 5 might actually be quite valuable for you. Firstly, I think the 9 to 5 worth it because you can use it as your free education. The example I've got is I was living in China for 2 years, COVID hit, got launched back to the UK, and I came back with no skills. All my mates around me, they were earning between 30 and 70K. I couldn't do anything. I needed to find some skills to actually get my next job. So, luckily I was good at networking, made friends with some good guys out in China. They were working for top tech firms like DJI, Oppo, Insta360, all heads of marketing, PR, good with advertising, etc. So, they'd started this agency, so I was like, whoa, well, let me have a slice of that. I came on board. I actually worked for free. I had no choice. They were a startup, they needed help. So I came in and I was the sales guy, and I dabbled in a bit of ad copy at the same time. It was a good start, got a good introduction to life at an agency, but what it taught me was the most important thing is how to do sales. So I actually, I did hours and hours of research, people like Patrick Dang, all that, hours of watching how to, be a salesperson. I watched all that, I implemented it into the agency, and I actually helped redefine their sales process in the end, because these guys were marketers. They weren't salespeople. They didn't know how to, generate pipeline or bring people in or close them. But I ended up bringing consistently 10 people in every single month to speak to, managed to get most of them to the end goal, which was the end proposal. But unfortunately, the guys, like I said, they were marketers and they just couldn't close it. It was a combination of things between pricing and, the level of client that we were going after. We were finding a lot of startups were coming with no money, so it wasn't a good fit. But, this taught me a lot about how to run sales for an agency in particular. It gave me the confidence. It allowed me to understand more about rejection and how to get through those pain barriers of being rejected over and over again. And importantly, it taught me how to communicate with other people. So definitely use that as a free education piece. Like I said, I worked for free for about 6 months, absolutely grinding. So it was 100% worth it, and it allowed me to get my next job. Next, I actually got a job at an e-commerce business. So they're a massive manufacturing company. They had several e-commerce brands underneath them. And this one was crucial because it taught me how to copyright, taught me how to use email marketing, build email lists, run Facebook ads. They even allowed me to launch a brand, and that has got so many different aspects to it, from making the products, sourcing the products, getting the products manufactured, to setting up a Shopify store, to running the first Facebook ad campaigns. So much learning went on here. I was here for 2 years, but I was getting paid absolutely peanuts as well, but it was 100% worth it. It also taught me how to manage and mitigate the people within the business that, because it was quite corporate, you couldn't do anything outside of budget. You had to find more creative ways to do stuff. So this was almost like a marketing MBA in itself. And it just helped me understand marketing more, it gave me the skills, right? It gave me the marketing skills to go on and actually start my own business. This e-commerce role actually took me to the next level. So got fed up of playing the political games at this company, left, moved to another manufacturing company, and I actually started as a content guy. The person above me left because it was like one of those companies, really flat structure. It was either someone leaves or dies and then you can move up, but I got really, really lucky. I fell on my feet here and he left. I put my hat in the ring to be, the marketing manager. went really well. And I actually managed to make it to the head of marketing within probably 12 months because I was doing that well in the role. But what this role actually gave me was, it allowed me, because I had to build out a team, I employed 2 people under the team. It let me and helped me negotiate with key stakeholders within the business to get my stuff done. And it gave me that overarching strategy piece that I might have been missing from my last couple of roles. So it's given me so much education for this space, and for what I'm doing now. I'm 1,000 times smarter than I was when I first started this agency piece back in probably 2020. So, you know, can't thank these experiences enough. The people that I've dealt with, the people that I've had to deal with, the hard times, the tough things, negotiating pay, all that kind of stuff has made me better and give me the tools, the mindset, and of course, you know, the money that has come with it to help me go out and start my own business. Another important thing in is the 9 to 5 worth it is it can be literally the fuel to your fire. So you can use your money that you get from that job to help fund your 9 to 5. I don't believe there's such thing as you can't invest some money into a business. Yes, a service business is great, there's low overheads, but there's still stuff to pay for. So in my case, I needed stuff like outreach tools. I needed a way to find more leads more quickly. There was a couple of SaaS, software as a service subscriptions that I needed to help me do what I'm doing now and help me while I'm running my 9 to 5 to actually go out and hit more business owners, because that's the key and that's the game here. You've got to hit the numbers to have conversations with people. But, you know, the 9 to 5, it might not be the end goal, but it can definitely be an investor into your business startup, whatever it may be. Like if you run an e-commerce brand, you might need product. If you're running a service, you might need a few systems. Like it can be the thing that gives you that little bit of cash injection to go and, you know, start your side hustle. Another reason why 9 to 5 can actually be worth it is it gives you structure at first, and then it can potentially give you the freedom later when you start your own business. So, you know, when you're a kid, you're coming out of uni, you've never worked a job, like you have no idea where the structure's coming from. So it teaches you how to be on time, it teaches you a routine, teaches you accountability, and it actually shows you what kind of environment you do well in, what kind of environment you don't do well in, what kind of environment you don't like, so you can actually structure that in the future for you to go and actually, you know, find something that you want to do, build a business if it's lifestyle or bigger than that to actually go after. One probably underrated one, and one you don't think about when you've got this business goal, is, you know, working for other businesses actually give you networking opportunities, because, you know, mentors, colleagues, people move around, they move to different businesses, and if you leave a lasting impression and you're good at your job, then they could actually end up tapping you up, or you could end up speaking to them. An opportunity could come from that. So 9 to 5, you know, you meet a lot of people, especially in a bigger corporate environment. People are moving around all the time, so it's definitely great for networking. And, you know, you could actually have some low-hanging fruit and some easy customers just there for your business by having these connections. Finally, I think with you know, is the 9 to 5 worth it? I think it actually reduces a lot of pressure on your side hustle, because ultimately you need money coming in because you need to live. Some of you might have houses, some of you might have rent to pay. For me, if I could have my time again, I'd probably live at home with my parents for longer, because you need to keep your costs as low as possible. But it actually gives you some money to live, you know, and pay for things, and which means you can focus on quality in your business, systems in your business, building a war chest in your business, so when you're ready to make that changeover, you've got enough cash there to keep you liquid. So that's definitely something to consider with the 9 to 5. I think when it comes to thinking about, is this 9 to 5 worth it, is, you know, not all of them are created equal. I've done some absolutely dog 9 to 5s, like that middle manufacturing job that I had. You know, the people were horrible. I didn't really have anyone around me in my team because we were all split up in different locations. You know, some of them can be toxic, some of them can be soul destroying, some of them can be a dead end if you've got nowhere to go or no path. So, you know, you need to make sure you pick the right one for you. Are you working a 9 to 5 right now, or you're just enjoying it, or you're building up some knowledge? Let me know in the comments. Would love to hear about it, what your challenges are, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, why you'd like your own business. Then let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.